Hey, everybody, this is Monica with Let's Connect Now. Welcome to our show, our first show of the year 2023. It's here. We have a brand new set. I can't believe it. The guys did a fantastic job in putting this together. We're located here at the Plaza West Covina, and today I'm so excited to have a makeup artist, someone who I just adore. His name is Ricky Fears. He goes by Ricky Fears on Instagram. So can't wait for you guys to tune in to our conversation. And with that, I will see you guys in a bit. So I am here with Ricky. Ricky Makeup by Ricky Fierce.
Hello.
I already introduced you, but so let's dive right in. I met you probably what now? Probably about 2.5 months ago at my daughter's
Exactly.
wedding,
Yes.
right? And I just was very fascinated by your work,
Oh, thank you.
and I know you and I have talked a lot, and I found out a few things about you, but you know, there's a bigger reason why I invited you to be my guest today, Ricky. And that is because you have this show is about inspiring people. Okay. And I think you're a great inspiration to so many people. I mean, I almost got, teary eyed when we were having coffee because you are just one of those individuals who have persevered beyond anything that I have seen, and so with that, tell us a little bit about you before we get into the whole makeup thing.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me.
Of course.
I'm really excited and kind of nervous to be here.
Don't be nervous.
And well, my name is Ricky, and I do makeup for a
Where
living.
did you grow? I know, but where did you grow up? Tell us where you grew up. Something personal about yourself.
Okay, well, I was born in Mexico, originally from Veracruz.
Veracruz.
I came here when I was 14 years old, and I've been living here ever since. Um, yeah.
You got married here as well, right?
Yeah, I met my husband. I met him here, and we've been together for over 14 years.
Yeah, I saw both of you guys at the wedding. Sam didn't tell me much. She just said, "Oh no, he just does this fabulous makeup. I'm so lucky to have him." And so you just made us both, all of us. Well, there was what, three or four of us, look stunning.
I know it was really nice. I had so much fun, to be honest. I was kind of nervous, because I know Sam wanted like a really good makeup, but everything, came out really good, and I was really excited to be a part of the wedding, especially because they're very lovely.
Yeah, no, you made her look stunning. Actually very proud. I didn't really. I have never really gotten my makeup done by anybody. I think the most
I
I've
know you
gone was,
mentioned that.
yeah, Mac. I think back in the day, I don't know, but that I don't really, I don't know. I mean, I liked it, but it's really heavy makeup, so I was a little unsure about allergies and things like that. So how do you choose what you your makeup, or how did you go about finding that?
Well, I like glam, so I always try to use uh, like kind of like something that will look natural, especially when it comes about foundation. I like everything about complexion, so I always try to use, like really good brands. Stoneford, it's one of my favorite ones. It's actually very good, brand to work with. Uh, that's pretty much
Yeah,
it.
no, I thought you did such a great job. But so tell us how did you get into this industry? Because this industry could be very challenging. So how did that all that play into your life?
This is really funny. I always like makeup. I think ever since I was a little kid, I always liked it. I grew up on a household with all my aunts, my grandma. I will always see them do their makeup, and I always found it like fascinating. Um, like growing up, we're in Mexico. That was in Mexico. Then I came here, and I kind of forgot about it. But with the time, I decided that I wanted to kind of like take classes. And it's funny because I did tell my husband, I was like, you know what, I want to do makeup. I like makeup. And he's like, why don't you do it? I was like, because, I don't know, I think that's just for ladies.
Mhm.
And he's like, oh my God, this is what he said. He's like, oh, you're dumb. You should just go and do it. We went to this school in Orange County, and I actually went like 5 times, and I never enrolled. On my sixth time, he did mention, if we're going, you're going to sign up this time. I was like, okay, sure, let's go. We went. I got all the information once again, and I was like, you know what, we'll do it next time. And he's like, no, just go ahead and do it. Do it now. If you don't do it, you're not gonna do it. I was like, okay, fine. So I signed up, and it was actually the best
Decision.
decision ever,
Mhm.
And yeah, and from there, here I am.
No, not here you are. I mean, you have done makeup for a lot of personalities, a lot of TV personalities, models, not just women but also male. Correct?
Yes.
You also are, the makeup artist for a few actresses. I think when you showed me the interview with Univision, I mean, that was so wonderful to see. That did your career take off after that interview with Univision?
It's well, I well, it kind of, it actually got me where I want to be, and I want to do more. I feel that it kind of took off right after I started working with Lele.
Hmm.
She's an amazing person. I love Lele Pons.
She's beautiful.
I know, she's lovely. I actually started to value my work, more right after working with her, because she taught me that she will always be like, Ricky, don't do job for free, Ricky, always charge for what you do because you're amazing, Um, I mean, I feel that after Lele, everybody got to know me more, like out there, like on the makeup industry, which was really nice.
So how did she find you? How did she hear about you?
So her assistant, her name is Sandra, also a very good friend of mine. I love her. I started working with Sandra, and I remember she did mention that she was gonna do a music video. And she mentioned that Lele was gonna be there. At that time, I didn't know who Lele Pons was, until she told me. And I did her makeup for the music video, and also one of her friends. And after that, I talked to Sandra, and I was like, "Oh my God, I would love to work with Lele more." And she's like, "When you're ready, or when I see that you're ready, you're gonna do it. I'm gonna um, try to give you the opportunity to work with her." I was like, "Sounds good, sounds good," you know. And after probably like 6, 7 months, I was home. I was at home, and she called me, and I'm so sorry. I was not at home. I was at the vet. I took my dogs to the vet, and I had barely arrived there. So Sandra called me, and she's like, "Hey, Ricky, what are you doing right now?" I was like, "Oh, I'm at the vet, waiting for my doggies." And she's like, "Can you come over and do Lele Pons makeup?"
Hmm.
I was like, "Oh my God, really?" I was so excited. It was like 3:45. I still remember. She's like, "Yes, but you need to be here at 5:30." I live all the way in Orange County. Of course, they all live in LA. I was like, "Oh my God, what am I gonna do?" I was like, "If I say yes, I'm probably gonna be there super late." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure, no problem. Let me just go home, take a shower, and head over there." She's like, "Okay, sounds good." She sent me the address. I called my sister and I was like, "Hey, can you pick up my doggies?" She's like, "Sure, what are you gonna do?" I was like, "Lele Pons makeup." I actually rushed over, to my house. I took a quick shower. I swear, I got there 5:55.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And Lele called me and she's like, "Ricky, are you gonna be here?" I was like, "Yes, I'm here." And she's like, "Okay." I met her. I talked to her. I was really nervous. And she's like, "You have 40 minutes to do my makeup." I was like, oh my
So
goodness.
do they tell you what they want, what they're looking for? What because I know that there's like light makeup for certain things, and then there's that really heavy makeup. Some of the people that have tried to do like my makeup, they just go so heavy on the eyes, and I don't know how do you figure that out? Because she's more like natural.
Yes.
She's she doesn't have the lashes or anything
Yeah.
like
Right
that. So
when
I
she
just
said that, right when she said that, I was like, okay, so what do you want, as a makeup look? And she's like, just do your job, do what you think it's gonna be best. I was like, okay. So, I did her makeup. She went over and looked herself in the mirror, and she's like, I love it. You're hired. I was
oh
like, oh my
wow.
God. That was
Wow.
like the best moment ever, to be honest.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So who else have you done makeup for that has really made an impact on you like she has?
Alicia Villarreal.
Oh my God.
I love her.
Wait. Did you know that I listen to her every day, almost coming home and
Really?
going home? Yes, she's
Yeah,
one of my favorite artists.
yeah. So I work with her. She's amazing. I love her. I swear, I love every single person that I work with because I feel that I always learn from them,
Yeah.
and I feel that they always make me better.
Hmm.
Especially when it comes about me doing makeup.
And because it tends to be one of those moments where you could really get personal with people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've experienced that with you when you were doing my makeup. We were talking about different things, and I just feel like even when you go get your hair done, you feel like you could tell your hair artist almost all your life, right? And then you go back and then you start over again. So what happened with that? So I think it's a great relationship between makeup artists, hair people that cut your hair, and things like that.
Yeah,
So
seriously, especially when they make you feel comfortable.
yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
And, they always have made me feel like very comfortable and confident. So that's why, I'm always like so happy to be around them.
Yeah, and one of the things that I noticed about you, and this is what I look for also when I go get my nails done. I look for how neat is the person, how clean they are. Are they using because I was afraid that you were gonna use the same brushes that you used on the other people, and I was kind of getting a little
I could
nervous about that.
never.
I know. Well, now I know, but I thought that was the process. So when I saw your equipment, I saw all your makeup, I was like, this guy is amazing. Everything was so clean. You were just like, I was like, oh my God. And on top of that, we get like all this free goodies from you. And I'm like, wow, this is fabulous. This was great. And so I thought, you know what? Okay. I think that's important, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's always really important, to show up at your client's, house or appointment, with everything clean, especially when it comes about like the brushes, the makeup palettes. I've seen, people, when they come to their makeup, like everything looks really,
Oh, I've seen
really
disgusting things too.
dirty,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I always say to myself, don't be that person, always try to make sure that everything looks presentable, especially because, that will say so much about you. And
Yeah.
yeah, I always like to pretty much uh, keep everything clean, especially my brushes.
Yeah, so when you go to a department store, for example, I noticed that they walk around with like an apron and they have all the brushes there, meaning that they're going to use the same brushes on everybody. Because I'm serious. I've actually looked at that, and they have,
Yeah, I've
and
seen it
I
too.
didn't care for that, to be honest with you. I don't know. I'm just very one of those very anal people, about certain things like that, and I
I just
didn't
hope
care.
that they clean their brushes.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Maybe they spray them. If they do, that's great. But I didn't see any of that. But anyway, um, so what are we doing now? I know you love dogs, and you do a lot of fundraising for different things that like that the dogs might need. I saw a couple of fundraisers that you were doing, and it just shows how passionate you are about also about pets, especially dogs, and I don't know when you find the time to do everything that you do.
I don't know. Well, when it comes about dogs, I mean, I love pets, I have a rabbit, I have a cat, I have three doggies. Um, and
I'm
I
not
don't
coming to your house because I'm allergic to cats and I'm allergic to rabbits.
I know my brother-in-law and my niece, the baby one, they're allergic to cats.
Hmm.
And I don't know how they couldn't handle it, you know, but they allow me to have my pets there.
Yeah. Well, um, I don't know. I just know that there's a lot more to you, but you're being a little shy right now. So, because maybe our audience, I don't know, because I want to know more about you. Like, do you face challenges sometimes? Have you had like have you done somebody's makeup and they're like, oh, I don't like it, or something like that? I
This
mean,
is a
because that can
really
really hurt your feelings, right?
yeah. So there was this time, you know, I'm not gonna say the name. Um,
Please don't.
no, I won't. But I went over to do a makeup. It was for someone who's also famous, you know.
Mhm.
So we were there, and well, we supposed to arrive there at 8 o'clock in the morning. I got there probably like 7:55, and then her lady is supposed to arrive there at the same time. She's also one of my friends. So I started doing the makeup, and then she called me and she's like, you know what, Ricky, I'm so sorry, I'm stuck in traffic. You know, I apologize. I will be there soon. I did tell the lady, you know, that she was gonna be there soon. So when my friend arrived, um, she started doing the hair, you know, and she introduced herself to the client, and the client didn't say anything. She just stayed quiet. She was so rude the whole time, you know, only because she was there 15 minutes late. Of course, I know it's 15 minutes late, you know. I know that she had to be ready a certain time. Um, at the end, she only said, "Oh, thank you." That's it. And she, you know, she of course she took pictures of herself, you know, with her work, like the makeup and the hair done. She uploaded those pictures. She never tagged us. She didn't. We didn't get paid. We had to drive like an hour, 15 minutes to do her makeup. She didn't mention us on Instagram. Nothing, nothing.
Wait a minute. She didn't pay you?
Nope. Because we had said that it was gonna be a collaboration.
Yeah.
So collaboration means that we'll go over. You know, we do the makeup. You know, the hair and makeup, and then she will mention, you know, our pages on her page, um, and then she will talk, you know, about
Yeah.
us. But she never did.
I should have asked you that
And
before I
she
paid you.
and she posted three pictures of our work,
Mhm.
and we never got tagged on our page.
Oh, wow.
You know, and she was being so rude to my friend and kind of to me, you know. I was like, I'm never gonna work with this lady ever again.
Yeah.
That was pretty much the only one kind of like inconvenience
Yeah, because
uh,
I look at your
time.
Instagram and I look at all those beautiful models, not just women, but men. And I'm thinking, oh my God, that is just amazing, the kind of work that you do. I mean, if I were just to see you somewhere and I didn't know that you did that, I probably would be like, if somebody told me, oh, he does makeup, I'd probably be like, huh, you know? But I mean, but I've experienced your magic touch and how you just like, I was like, man, because sometimes, I had a lot of blemishes. I think we talked about that. And you were just like, I don't know, I look
Not too
flawless,
many, but yeah, you look really pretty. I really
you
love the
know?
way you looked.
And
You
then
looked stunning.
and then I went on and I cried and then I think I touched my face or something.
I
You're
was like,
like, let me
no.
touch it up.
I was like, don't do that.
Let me touch it up. But no, my experience with you was fabulous. I had a great time. I think it was just one of those very emotional days. My little girl getting married, and then, you were there the whole time. We took pictures, and I just couldn't take it. It was one of those days that you're just one of those moments in life that hopefully everybody gets to experience it only one time, because you want your kids to be married forever. And it was just something I haven't experienced, and it was very emotional for me. So I'm glad I cried like 2 weeks prior straight, coming to work, because that day I was so scared to mess up my makeup, so I didn't have to cry that much. But you did such an amazing job. I'm glad that we kept that connection with you, because now I'm like excited. I even thought you were gonna come in with a little kit and like say, "Oh, Monica, no, no, no. Let me do this. Let me do
Let me retouch your
this."
makeup.
Yes, yes, because you're amazing. You're
Oh, thank
amazing. You're a
you.
giver. You have a big heart. You're very loving. So we're gonna take a little break, Ricky, because you and I had a conversation about a specific person in your life who had who has just influenced you and who loved you so much that I want to touch on. And so we're gonna take a little break just to kind of take a breather and maybe to retouch my makeup or something. I don't know.
Sure,
Um,
why not?
and we'll be right back.
Okay, perfect.
Hi everyone, my name is Carolina. My business is Bonita La Fleur. I work with fresh and silk florals for any occasion. I also do a lot of custom work, so with colors or any signages with names. Look me up on Instagram at Bonita La Fleur.
Okay, Ricky. So when you and I had coffee, we talked about a very special person in your life. I know that you've been going through a lot and stuff, but I think it's important because you know what? I feel like sometimes we have to share a little bit about ourselves so that people can understand who we are, where we come from, and a little bit of our pain that we feel, so that we can you know feel like we have a voice. And you talked a lot about this wonderful woman that raised you, and when you talked about her, you even like got all teary. And I thought, oh my God, that's so beautiful, because I feel the same way about my grandma, but she didn't raise me, but I always wanted to be around her. And it was just something really beautiful. I mean, you don't have to go into a lot of details, but it is, just tell us how she raised you, what kind of things that, what do you miss the most about her? And is it something that you're already dealing with that you feel better about, or, you
What do
know,
I miss the most about her? When she will say bad words to us.
bad words?
She will, I don't know, she was really, really funny, you know. I do miss my grandma a lot, you know. Like, I feel that we grew up, you know, around her, and I will always call her mom, you know. Of course, my mom too, but I was always call her mom. And, you know, I mean, it's been really tough, you know, not having her here, you know, like, or not being able to talk to her.
Well, because you did mention that she passed during COVID,
Well, it was
or
actually last year,
oh,
in
okay, okay.
February. So apparently she, you know, she got COVID back in December. We didn't know about, to be honest. We were there half of the month of December, and we came back on January. So as we came back, you know, she was a little sick, and I thought she was gonna get better. Unfortunately, everything got a little bit complicated. She was sent over to the hospital, and unfortunately, she passed away. It's been one of the most difficult times of my life.
Well, because you didn't get to see her, you didn't get to say goodbye, and that's always hard, right?
Yeah, well, it's funny. A day before she passed away, you know, someone went over to the hospital, and they did a FaceTime call to us, and we saw her. And I still remember, I saw her laying down on the bed, and I did tell her that I love her. And we all told her that we all, you know, we loved her, or we love her actually. And you know, the next day, you know, unfortunately, she passed away. So that was the last time I actually talked to her, and I heard her voice, you know.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, it's been really hard. I have no idea. I still don't know how I've been able to, you know, live without her, or because it was always me calling her grandma or mom. What are you doing? Okay. And I remember this is something that I will always remember. You know, every time I will give her a call, she will be like, "Oh my God, mijo, your tios don't call me." You know, like my uncles, or you know, like she will always complain, and sometimes she will start kind of like crying. Of course, I knew they would call her, but you know, like not like every day, like I would, you know.
Well, she was
And
comfortable with you.
yeah, and then sometimes it's funny. If I will hear, you know, her that she will maybe starts crying, I'll be like, "Mommy," I was like, "Don't cry. I don't want to hear you cry. If you cry, I'm gonna hang up on you."
It's because she missed you so
Yeah,
much.
and I will always say that to her, you know, and she's like, "Okay, mijo, okay," you know. And it was like we had like a really good bond, you know. Like I feel that we will always be talking, and I don't know, I do miss her a lot. It's
Yeah,
been really hard.
I still talk to my grandma. Even she appears in my dreams, and and I wake up and I have like a very emotional day that day because I start thinking about her. Because and I think in our our heritage, as Hispanics, we grandmas play such a huge role in our lives, right? Where everybody's so close. Every Sunday, everybody goes to grandma's house.
Yeah.
Everybody's there, all the cousins, everybody. Um, but I felt like even though we did that a lot with both grandmothers from my father's side and my mother's side, I was a lot closer to my dad's mom. I don't know why, but I just was. I just felt like her love was well, back then I didn't really make a difference, but now when I think about it, the love that my grandmother, my dad's mother, gave to us, it was equal to every grandkid. It wasn't like I was more special than my other cousins. No, it was all the same. All the same. This woman had, I mean, a heart that was as big as this mall, you know?
Yeah, it's really well. I also, I mean, as I said, I do miss her, and I remember every time I would go to some award show, like let's say Miami, or even when I went to, like Europe, I will always give her a call and be like, "Mom, I'm here. I'm making it. I'm getting there." And I remember the first time that I went to Miami, I called her and I was like, "Mom, I was like, I'm here. I'm in Miami. I'm doing the billboards, awards." And she's like, "Oh my God, mijo." She's like, "I'm so proud of you. Um, I can't believe that you're there. That you are actually, making your dreams come true. I miss those words. I do miss those words. And when I went to do the Latin Grammys, I got to the hotel and I was gonna grab my phone and call her. And then I looked at the phone and I just sat down on the bed and I started crying. I was like, well, who am I gonna call? Of course, I can call my mom, but she knows what I'm doing.
Yeah.
My grandma, she lived all the way in Mexico, so I will always give her a call for like, anything that I will do. Even when I work with Alicia Villarreal, I called her and I was like, Ma, I'm working with her,
Can you invite her to my show?
Sure, when she comes over, I can ask her. She's actually gonna be in Mexico.
Okay.
And she's probably gonna be coming soon.
Oh, wow.
So I called my grandma, and I told her, you know what, mommy, I was like, I'm working with Alicia because my grandma liked her a lot. Um, she's like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. She will always, or she was always, proud of me, and I do miss hearing that from her.
Yeah, I'm sure she sounds so lovely, but part of our upbringing, living in Mexico and growing up, and because I was born in Mexico, I came here when I was 8 or 9 years old, and I face a lot of challenges here. One of them being the language.
Hmm.
A lot of people will make fun of me. They would do this, so I would go to my room and I would start writing a letter to my grandma, like, I'm scared. I don't like it here. I want to go back to my school. Can you
Same.
please call my dad and tell him to pick me up and take me back with you? I'll live with you. I was desperate. I think I must have written her like 10 letters.
Same. When I came here, I
Yeah.
will call her every single day. I swear,
Yeah.
for like over a year, I will be crying on the phone all the time. I was like,
Yeah.
Grandma, I want to go back. Grandma, I want to go back. After, we start, getting used to it and we start kind of liking here. So, and I didn't see my grandma for like over 12 years.
Wow.
12 years. And after I saw her, I was like, after those 12 years, I finally was able to go back and see her. And it was like very emotional.
But you also shared something funny, and I don't know, you might not like it that I'm going to say it, but you forgot that you had a green card after
You
you got
know,
it. Usually people are so excited when they get it, and they're just like, oh my God, I'm going to go, right away. We want to go back to where we were
I was
born and things like that. I was like, wait, how do you forget that?
I was so busy taking care of my mom and my husband, because they got COVID at the same
Yeah.
time. And I was like so busy taking care of them because my husband wasn't to the hospital. He was there for like 3 weeks. My mom
Wow.
wasn't home, recovering from COVID too. So I was like so busy back and forth taking care of them. Um, and I completely forgot about it.
Oh my God. Oh my
Completely forgot
God.
about it. But yeah, that was
That
funny
I thought that
actually.
was funny because I'm like, I know a lot of people that like they just right away they go travel and they go spend like a month in where they're from and they're so excited and you're like, I don't know, but I forgot. I was like, wait, what?
No, I mean,
Because
I forgot during those, like probably like
yeah.
tough times,
Of course. I'm sure you found it right away and you knew where you placed it at. But no, but you got to go back. But I know, you and I share a lot of, similar stories, of, people bullying us and because of the language,
Yeah.
and I know I didn't want to live here. I was like, I want to go back because I'm going to be an attorney when I grow up.
Yeah, well, when I got here, well, I'm not gonna say that my English is the best, but I always try, to
But
to to learn.
let me tell you, there's
Um,
people, and you know that to be the truth. There's people that come here and they never, ever, ever learn the language. They just say yes, no, and that is it. You know?
well, some of the people are probably because they come here to work and because they have a family to support. I feel that they focus more on work than actually learn the
Well, how
language.
come my dad learned it
Uh,
and my mother understands it, but she was always
yeah.
thinking that people were gonna make fun of her because we as little kids, we were make fun of her because she didn't pronounce certain things or she's
Hmm.
pronounced it funny, but I knew what I wanted to do when I came. When it was definitely going to be one of those things where we're staying here. I knew that I wanted to really learn the language, and I came. I had a mission, and I knew that I wanted to be, continue, my education and be better because people come here with a dream, and you've done that. You fulfilled something that you love. You're doing something that you love. Usually, people come here and they have to work really hard. They have to just take any job they can get. You're doing something that you love, and that is so, so important. And you're so fortunate for that.
Yeah, well, when I came here, it wasn't that easy, to be honest, because when I started going to school, I didn't know any English, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, my own, our own people, like
Yeah.
Hispanic people, they will always make fun of me. They will
Mm-hmm.
always call me a beaner or go back to
Beaner. That's
Mexico,
hard.
like,
That's horrible.
or they will always tell me, oh, you don't know English, and they will make fun of me. They will make me feel so bad. I will come home crying, to be honest,
Yeah.
because of that. I finally found a person, another Hispanic person, he was really nice to me. He's like, don't pay attention to them, you're gonna learn English. So he introduced me to his friends, and they started treating me really nice. They will, instead of making fun of me, they will always help me. Okay, Ricky, you had to pronounce it like this. You had to make sure that you talk English all the time. You had to, like they were really nice. That's how I started to learn English. And it was actually the
Because
best
14
idea.
years old, I mean, 14 years old, you're a teenager already. You're already in high school, and I think those are probably some of the toughest years,
It was.
because I'm trying to understand the lessons, in every classroom. It's hard, right? And so I could see that. But now, I mean, you speak well. I love it when you talk Spanish because I don't get to talk Spanish with a lot of people. There's a lot of Hispanics here who say, "Oh, I don't speak Spanish," but when it comes down to it, they understand it. But I love, me encanta hablar en español. Me
What a mí
encanta.
me gusta más el español.
Pues a mí también, but we live here in
We need
California,
to
so we have
speak
to speak
English,
English,
of
right?
course.
And a lot of people would say that, and that's fine. But there's still a beauty to speaking two languages is always nice. And no, I do not think in Spanish because a lot of people ask me that, and that's a dumb question. They're always like, "Do you think in Spanish because you know Spanish? Is that do you think and then you speak English?" I'm like, "No."
No.
We don't. But I think you've done a fabulous job with
Thank
with
you.
everything that you've done. You're very accomplished. You're very humble because you just barely share with me about the billboards. You share with me about this and that. You are a very humble guy. It's like a little treasure box. You have to open it and look
Sometimes.
through it, you know. And but I think I thank you so much for even taking the drive to come here and be
No,
with
thank you
us.
for inviting me. I
You
was
know,
really, I was really excited, to be honest. When you mentioned it about being here, I was like, sure. I just wanted to make sure I was not going to Mexico
Oh,
because
yeah.
I'm supposed to be there right now, but I didn't go.
Yeah. And yeah, so everyone check out his Instagram. Tell us what your Instagram page is.
It's Makeup by Ricky Fierce.
Makeup by Ricky Fears. Oh my God. Do you take DMs?
Yes.
Yeah. So we can ask you questions on there
Sure.
about certain things. Great. So ladies, if you're getting married, if you're, if you're having a quinceañera, if you are a model, a rising model, and you need a makeup artist, look up Ricky, makeup by Ricky Fierce. Oh my God, Fierce. I like that. You should tattoo that on your body.
I should, right? I'm just afraid of needles, so I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. But with that, again, I thank you so much. We're kicking off our year with you, my 2023 January. Hey, kicking it off with some great stuff. And I wish you the best of luck, in your career. I know I'm going to see you again. I know we're going to talk and hopefully, we'll get some more people to follow you and check out what, check out his page because he is just a fabulous makeup artist.
Well, thank you
Fabulous
very much
makeup
for,
artist.
for inviting me.
Of
Thank you. I
course.
really appreciate it, and I always say this I always tell this, to people to go after, their dreams. It's really hard, sometimes, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, but fears is it's a big word and you've done just that. So yeah, definitely. I encourage people all the time, follow your dreams. No dream is too small. But
Exactly.
and do something that you love for sure. So, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to Let's
Thank
Connect Now.
you.
I look forward to having a fabulous year, alongside of everyone who's going to be on my show moving forward. So, with that, I'm gonna say good night. Have a great evening, and I will see you guys every other Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Facebook, Instagram, Apple, YouTube, and many more platforms. So with that, I'm going to say good night. Thank you.
Thank you.